Greetings survivors and friends, Shadowfrax here back again with more plugins to tickle your need for something a little bit off menu because, let's face it, Rust is alright, but vanilla's just so vanilla. So I'm making these videos because you need to have your horizons expanded. You'll thank me later. This time round, I've got such wonders to show you as crashing satellites, loot everywhere, and hooch. But first, a quick message from my sponsor today, Monster Legends, a smashing free-to-play mobile game for Android and iOS, which lets you create your very own monster empire from over 1,000 different monsters. Let genetics go bonkers by interbreeding them to create new species. Stuff them with food to beef them up and send your dream team in to challenge other monster masters for trophies, rewards, and to reach the top leagues. If that wasn't enough, Monster Legends has recently teamed up with The Walking Dead to bring in 6 new monsters inspired by the heroes Rick, Daryl, Michonne, Negan, Carol, and Maggie. And you can start your collection with Rick, who's already in there and ready to keep the zombies out with his invincible machete and axe attacks. Collect Daryl, Maggie, Rick, and Carol to automatically unlock the Negan monster, and then master the dungeon to get the indestructible Michonne. To dive in and start collecting, download the game now with my link in the description or the QR code on screen, and for a limited time you'll get a special free starter pack of 100,000 gold, 20,000 food, 3 gems, and Mothman. What are you waiting for? Back to the video, and first up, would you rather be in the buff or have a buff? Easy answer really, but maybe you should put some clothes on, the other monkeys are getting annoyed. Introducing the first of our plugins this time round, Gathering Clothes. I thought this was an interesting one as it's also part
concept limbo.
You see, way back on what is considered the very first roadmap for Rust, Gary's mind map from around 2013, as well as quite a few other things that are yet to become a reality, there was one section called Better Clothing, under which were some ideas for clothes that would give bone-eye to activities, such as engineer overalls for faster crafting, a lumberjack jacket for more wood, and a butcher apron for more meat. Enter Gathering Clothes, which takes this idea and runs it through the biggest sewing machine in the plugin sweatshop to add 6 sets of clothing, giving 6 super useful gathering buffs to your server. There's the miner's set for better ore yields, the farmer's set for food, the angler's set for fishy fish, the hunter's set for more meat, etc., the lumberjack set for gathering more wood, and the scavenger's set which gives the wearer a chance to receive additional scrap when destroying barrels or looting crates. As default, the plugin adds these items as additional loot to find, so they won't actually replace anything you're looking for, and although the clothes belonging to each set come in 3 parts, there's a lot of flexibility. For example, in the mining set, the hat gives you an extra 10% yield, the hoodie 25%, and the trews 15%. You could wear 1 or 2 and get each one's bonus, but if you go out with a matching set, the overall bonus goes up to 100%. It's up to you though. You can mix and match if you like, and accessorize with armor if you want the protection. Some bonus is better than none after all. As with all good plugins, you can change all the details in the config, such as where to find them, the bonuses given, and you can even create completely new sets with different buffs if you like. Next up, back on Devblog 68, when arguably the most realistic looking version of bone armor was being created, this was also teased. It was a server event idea involving a crashed satellite that, although worked on for a few weeks, sadly burned up on re-entry and never saw the light of day. Not a problem though, thanks to the next plugin, which adds a server event involving a crashed satellite. This is Sputnik, which brings some special debris falling to the ground in a massive ball of flame that, sadly for you, a whole lot of other people are going to see as well. There are 5 different types of satellite debris that can fall as default, but again, you can change everything in the config and even make your own. When it falls, the wreckage can be guarded by any number of astroscience noughts, helis, turrets, and 9s. You can have it contain whatever loot you think would be worth it, and a card reader can be placed between you and any locked crates that will only open with a special purple space key card, found separately. Some versions of the event will even spawn several bits of space debris apart from the main satellite, so it isn't just confined to one area. I always like to see plugins adding stuff that was previously teased by the team, although the event could be made even more interesting, I think, by making it something you could trigger using the satellite dishes. Let me know what you think. Ever wonder why Rust has so many desks, toilets, boxes, and even washing machines that are, to all intents and purposes, just display models? Wouldn't your internal loot goblin just love to be able to crack them open and pilfer their secrets? Well, now you can, thanks to Static Lootables, a plugin that turns all those boring static props into lucky dip barrels of wonder. As a default, Raoul, the plugin creators, made quite a few of the more common prefabs lootable, such as filing cabinets, fridges, junk cars, boxes and toilets, with some of them being freely lootable and others having HP and needing to be damaged first. A loot table is provided for you to use straight out of the box, pun intended, but you can of course change this to your heart's content. In fact, everything in this plugin can be subject to change, and with the built-in editor you can create brand new lootables from practically anything in a couple of jiffies, and say how often you want them to refill. Want a section of wall to give you stone? Want to make it so you have to thwack it a few times first? Done! How about having keycards inside locked desks instead of just on the top? Maybe toilets should contain human skulls. Fair enough. So much about this system makes sense. For instance, lockers can have both locked doors and open ones that can be looted without needing to damage them. You can even set up containers to be hackable, specify how long it'll take to hack them, and then give players access to them with a code for a set amount of time afterwards. You can also use it with Zone Manager to make it so that only prefabs within certain areas, such as monuments, are actually lootable. Would you use this one? Let me know in the comments. So, what's better than a turret? A mountable turret, obviously, and this next plugin adds just that, and a little bit more. First of all, an anti-aircraft turret which looks like a small SAM site, but with a CCTV camera glued to the top. And this is because you can control it remotely, the mounting being something you do via a computer station. It takes HV rockets as opposed to SAM site ammo, and once logged in you can either point it at a target to lock on automagically, or switch it to manual mode in either single or burst. The other turret's this one, which again can be placed on your base, but you mount it directly. Also, although it's powerful, you do become a sitting duck on it, and it only swivels so far. Players can buy turrets using a chat command, but by default, public versions will also spawn in several places, on train wagons, large flatbeds, and several of both types can be found on the cargo ship. Again, there's a lot you can change about this plugin in the config, including giving them unlimited ammo, if you're brave, and you could technically add them to all sorts of fun places. What I'd really love to see is a mod that lets us control normal turrets from stations, but as far as I know there isn't one out there. This plugin isn't all one-sided though, as it also allows players to add IR traps to minis and scrap transports that can be used to blind SAM sites to you for a few seconds. Simply put a bunch of flares in the fuel tank, perfectly safe, and when in flight, press E to release a batch. Just make sure you do it in time. Lastly, for this video, if you've ever wanted to use berries for making more than tea, then this little plugin might just be the solution. The first step in your booze your own adventure needs to be a trip to see Ivan, or one of his brothers Ivan, or Ivan, who can be found nonchalantly loitering at the bandits' camp, outpost and airfield. After a pleasant traditional Russian greeting, they'll sell you some essentials, such as a fermentation barrel and still, along with all the accessories you might want for the entire process. Once you have these deployed, you can start adding berries to the pouch on the side of the barrel. It doesn't seem to matter which ones you use, the result's much the same. I am a little disappointed you can't use potatoes, but hey-ho. Fermentation will then start immediately, and you can begin to siphon off the wort. Don't drink yet! Next, put this into the still, light the fire, and after this extremely accurate recreation of the actual process is finished, you have yourself a bucket of something that will certainly put hairs somewhere. Now, the whole reason that you went to these lengths wasn't just because of the rise in the cost of living. No, you want buffs, and you're going to get them. Actually, a whole 6 at once, for the measly price of blurred vision, hiccups, and a bit of dehydration. A shot should last you about a minute and a half, as for some reason you process this stuff super fast, so if you see someone launching themselves at barrels and trees and generally trying to smash things up as fast as possible, don't worry, they've probably just had a drinky. So realistic. But I'm a teetotaler, you say. I never touch the stuff. Well, that's fine too, because Ivan, and Ivan are also interested in whatever you brew and will gladly trade a variety of useful items for it. How very thoughtful of them. So, what do you think of this round of plugins? Have you used any on your server? As per, if you're interested, you'll find links to all of them in the description below, and as per, I'm showing you all of these off my own back. I'm not getting anything from anyone for doing so. I am getting something from Monster Legends for sponsoring this video though, so thanks to them. Make sure you download the game now and get the incredible TWD monsters. Don't miss the opportunity to download it through the link in the description and claim your free starter pack, which will get you right into the game and speed up your progression. If you liked the vid, please leave a like and a sub. Follow me on Twitch for streams, Twitter, FriendFace, Discord, and my Steam group for updates, and support me if you like through Patreon, YouTube membership, or my merch store. Links below. I shall catch you all soon, but in the meantime, keep calm and stay rusty. Cheerio.